This is a story of my first job selling big books and baby pictures to mothers. What was your first job? Your first sales job? Because people ask me all the time, Jeffrey, what was your first job in sales? So picture this. I'm 16 years old, rather clean cut because the hippies hadn't taken over yet, and lanky, 135 pounds, 6 feet tall, couldn't drive yet, and I answered an ad to sell Encyclopedia Britannicas door to door in South Jersey, just across from the river from Philadelphia. And my job was to take my 2 cards, but to cold call everybody else in the neighborhood to see if they wanted to buy an Encyclopedia Britannica set. And I had my briefcase, my bag, and the bag had a bunch of fold-out stuff and brochures and everything. And they taught me the whole process of selling, which at the time was a little confusing to me because I didn't really understand there was a science to it yet. So I'm in these neighborhoods, I'm knocking on the door, I have my Encyclopedia Britannica briefcase with me, and I'm a 16-year-old kid. I knock on the door, and someone would come to the door, sometimes holding a kid, sometimes the kid's crying, sometimes people are screaming, sometimes they're drinking a beer. And I said, hi, my name is Jeffrey. I'd like to talk to you about Encyclopedia Britannicas. And they would go, the hell out of here. They would give me some kind of New Jersey response that would make me understand that I was still living in New Jersey. Every once in a while, someone would say, okay, but it was very rare. Most of the time, door slammed in my face. But on my second day, I had the card, and the guy that I banged on the door, they said, no, they let me in. They let me in their house. And I had my briefcase and my fold-out thing and my samples, and I tried to close the deal, but I failed. And then I had another one, and then I failed again. And finally, I had another one, and I failed again. The third day, I realized it wasn't really for me, and the boss picked me up. And he didn't say, how'd you do today? He said, did you get the bag open? And I said, yeah. He said, how many times? I said, 3. He goes, great. What? I didn't make a sale. And he explained that the first thing you have to do is establish rapport to gain interest. It was my first powerful sales lesson. Unless you get the bag open, you can't get the sale. I had to develop buyer interest. Anyhow, I sort of let the lesson fly over my head because, 16 years old, impetuous kid from New Jersey. I quit. It was a pain in the butt. So let's go to next summer when I decided I'm going to give sales one more try and I could drive. So I took a job selling baby pictures to mothers. A photographer would go out and snap a bunch of pictures of the baby, black and white, under the auspice that you get a free 8x10. But I would deliver the photos and lay them out on the table. I come in with an envelope and all the proofs in it, and I went through the pitch. You want the small package or the best value, or the free picture, and if they only took the free picture, I would walk away. But people were saying yes. I mean, I was making sales. Do you want the small package, or do you want the best value? So I do this for about 6 months, and I'm making money. And one day, I took my envelope of proofs into a home and opened it up inside the 12 pictures, and I'm laying the pictures out. I'm going, this is the ugliest kid I've ever seen in my life. No way is this mother going to buy these pictures. They were horrible. So I lay the pictures out. I up my pitch, a little bit more enthusiasm. And I say to the lady, do you want the small package or would you like the best value? And the lady was like smiling. She goes, I'll take the best value. She bought every one I had. Now going to my car, I'm smiling. What am I doing? Like you, I'm figuring out my commission. That's like $78. Okay. But that day, I learned an exceptionally powerful lesson. If I'd have tried to sell the pictures to that lady of my kids, how many would she buy? But her ugly kid, she bought every single one that I had. Now, when I tell this story to my audiences, I show a bunch of pictures of my children. They're beautiful pictures. I asked the audience, how many pictures of mine do you want to buy? And you know what? No one's ever bought one. And then I ask them, whose kids' pictures are you selling? And it's like this big aha moment. The sale was made because the photos, good or bad, were of their kid, not my kid. No one will buy pictures of your kid, your slide, your value proposition, your quota, your brochure. Redesign your sales presentation to sell them results, productivity, morale, profit. Come on, CEOs, if you give them a choice to save money or make a profit, they're going to choose profit 100% of the time. And keep this in mind. If you are walking into someone's office or they're walking into your office, they want to know, how do they win? What's in this for them? Sell pictures of their kids to them, not your kids.
How ugly was that baby? Like, what? Give me a sense of that.
The baby was so ugly that when I saw the pictures of the baby, I almost said, oh, we messed up. We're going to come back and reshoot it.
There's something wrong with the photo.